Alright, here we are another night where there's nowhere to go, nothing to do, and no one to look up to. All the great podcast themes have been turned into podcast theme parks, and I don't know about you, but...
Hello, baby, I've been waiting for a Christian Slater podcast.
Welcome back to the Christian Slater Monitor. Today's a special financial edition. I'm your host, Oswald Ramirez. You can call me Ozzy, and I'm here with...
Amit Patel,
our financial expert. And we're here to discuss Dolan's Cadillac from 2009. When did you hear about this movie?
When you asked me to pick a Christian Slater movie, I just looked it up and I scrolled through and basically stopped on one.
I'm glad you did, because I also never heard of nor seen this movie. It's based on a short story, I think from the 80s or 90s or 70s, I forget, by Stephen King.
We should have looked that up and see how many pages it was.
It was long. I read it, and for a short story, it was long, but it's not nearly as... It's like both... This movie also felt very long, and so did the short story, though the movie added many things and subtracted some things and changed some things. I
should have read it too before this, but I mean, the movie, it seems like the movie should have been like an hour-long episode of something on TV.
Yes.
And not an hour and a half long feature film.
That's a good call. Like maybe an hour-long
with
Twilight
commercials
Zone or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Twilight Zone-y kind of story. And let's see here. It was directed by Jeff Beasley. It's a Canadian film. Now, I don't know about Jeff Beasley, what he's known for. I guess he's a producer, and he directed a lot of TV movies other than this, and TV shows.
Well, see, now it makes sense.
Yes. Directed a movie called Sparkle, and its screenplay is by Richard Dolan, who looks like he worked on the TV show Kingdom's Hospital, which I think might also be a Stephen King thing. In fact, it is.
Never.
It's a Stephen
I've never heard of it.
Thing. Which maybe has exactly like this could be a episode of that never got made or something. But at any rate, I think this film was funded by Saskatchewan.
Like their teachers union or something?
Yes. Well, this movie, I wanted to talk to you, like this movie, it just felt like one of the big themes was that it's anti-teachers.
Like it just kills them one off at the beginning and according to this movie, teachers must have a pretty good salary, because how else can a teacher afford riding ponies in the desert?
Yes. That was the opposite theme of Stephen King's short story, which was that teachers don't make shit, was what he was saying. And it seemed like in both cases it was over the top. Like they make too much in this movie and not enough in his story. And it stars Christian Slater as Dolan, though he's the second lead, to Wes Bentley as Robinson. And then...
Who you're doing a very good job of impersonating right now with your haircut. And
and Manuel Vagier as the wife of Christian Slater, or the wife of Wes Bentley, rather.
Have you seen her in anything else?
She didn't. I don't know. Have you?
No. I have a note that was like, I'm glad she died because she was pretty terrible at the beginning of this movie.
She was terrible. Looks like she's been in not like a ton of stuff. Nothing I've ever seen.
But here's the thing. He sees, I don't know how much you want me to talk about this movie, like random parts, but when he sees like parts of her like dead ghost, sort of, she does better acting in that dead costume than I think she does throughout the whole part where she's living.
Well, let's just get into the plot so we can start.
Somebody dies in this movie. Surprise.
Begin spoilers.
Yeah, it's kind of a Cask of Amontillado story. We start in a desert, and already their filming of the desert looked better than Broken Arrow's filming of the desert. Then we see an open road close up, and we get credits.
That credit sequence is terrible. He does like his paper bag narration over top of a highway during the credits.
What did you think about this narration?
I think they were just like, hey, let's remind everybody who Wes Bentley is.
I forgot to do this, but I was just going to read it as your introduction. This crazy shit he says about Dolan, like turning your prostate to rubbish and stuff like that. And I was like, this has to be from the story but it's not. I think it's actually a description of Randall Flagg from the story The Stand, or from the novel The Stand by Stephen King, kind of a devil figure. And I don't know when all these things pop up, but I guess throughout the film we're going to have in the background with graffiti and stuff references to other Stephen King stories and novels for the true fan.
That's cool. I should go back and watch it for that. After I get done watching every other movie that ever existed.
Did you ever read any Stephen King?
I don't know if I ever did, like, sit down and read one of his. I had to have, like, sometime during high school, but I can't remember. I mean, I've seen so many of his movies that somebody else made.
Same. I never have until I read this. This story was the first Stephen King I'd ever read. It was okay. I would read more Stephen King based on it, but it wasn't my favorite story in the world. It did seem. I want
to say, like, I read Carrie at some point, but yeah. I don't remember a thing about it.
Then we get Wes Bentley in Torn Gloves and Anguish.
God.
And then we see Dolan's Cadillac. Did you notice anything offhand about this Cadillac?
Well,
it's an Escalade.
I mean, it is a custom Cadillac. Maybe they removed all of the Cadillac symbols because it's custom, and Dolan didn't like the Cadillac symbols.
And which apparently he buys a different, he updates his Cadillac every few years. In the story, it's a Cadillac DeVille.
Well, this is what I was thinking. When I wrote this down, I said, he should have a better Cadillac. Like if it was a DeVille or something like an old school one, like all nice and decked out, like that would have been a lot better than, hey, there's just a black Cadillac with tinted windows and no Cadillac symbol.
I guess the Escalade is the standard of like Cadillac fanciness in modern times. Maybe it looked cooler to them than a modern DeVille or something. But yeah, a classic DeVille or something would have been cooler for sure. And then we meet Bentley Robinson and his wife, and we find out they're trying to have a baby.
Is that in the book?
No.
That didn't need to be in the movie.
We get a lot of them knowing they're trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
She's a teacher, and she's teaching Huck Finn to really young kids. So
they taught us Huck Finn when we were real young.
Oh, really? Did you get the
I don't know about that young. I don't know about when we were, because those kids were probably what, third graders?
Yeah, maybe.
I want to say there was like fifth grade.
N-word in there when you...
I'm pretty certain it was still in there when we were in school.
Good. And
we also, grew up in a southern state that probably took a while to get that out of there.
I'm just against suppression of knowledge. If it's in the book, it's a learning opportunity for the teacher to
exactly.
tell.
Say, hey, this is why it was in there. Things were different back then. We progressed as a society. And
we were never taught any Mark Twain in school that I can recall. Like I read Tom Sawyer a few years ago and some short stories by him. But yeah, I think we have maybe that Jumping Frog of Calaveras County.
That's so weird because we grew up in the same school district. You would think they had the same books. And we definitely read Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn.
You got a better education. Then we see that Bentley is a teacher as well. And he's teaching, at some point maybe he says they're sixth graders. Maybe I just took that because in the short story, he and she are both teachers and he's teaching sixth graders. But he's teaching them about immigrants building the railroad. And then we cut to human trafficking at the border.
Which, did you see the foreshadowing he had?
Yes.
That was that.
Immigrants to immigrants in the back of this.
No, he has a little construction vehicle car at the beginning. He shows his kids.
Oh, wow. Does he also show them his watch from his father working or grandfather working on the railroad? I thought that's
which I can't ever not think of Pulp Fiction when it really pulls out a watch like that. It's like dangling around. But yeah, he pulls out like a little construction vehicle. It's like showing them the construction vehicle too.
Then Dolan and his assistants roll up in the Cadillac, and we meet his two main assistant people. Or at least they seem like they'll be. We meet a guy that looks kind of like Jason Clarke.
And one of them's Wanda Sykes.
Yes. Karen LeBlanc as Delta and Greg Brick as Chief. They meet up with the human traffickers who have a bunch of immigrant women from south of the border in the back of this truck. And they appear to be...
It's funny you say south of the border because... when they flash over to the women in the back of the truck, they're of all sorts of nationalities.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's what.
But they're totally coming from south. It's supposed to be coming from south of the border, which maybe that's just how they bring them in. But
so then they kill the human traffickers with guns. But then Wes Bentley's wife witnesses the whole thing because she's riding around out there in the desert
and on a horse.
Yes,
as you know, as many teachers do.
Yes. Oh my goodness. One of my fantasies, if I was really rich, is to own a horse. I think horses are pretty cool, but you'd have to be so rich.
Yeah. Or live like on a farm or something.
Yeah.
Like to have room for one.
Yes.
But
you don't like horses.
I hate horses. One of them ran me into an apple tree when I was young and like scraped my face up. And ever since then, I've just like disdained them.
I thought for easier cleanup after this, they should have put corpses in with the sex slaves, the corpses of the drug traffickers, just thrown them in with the sex slaves in the back of the truck and driven off.
Didn't they drive off with corpses in the truck?
Maybe, I guess. Maybe I missed that.
Because there was some that were dead because, they were banging on the truck and they knocked the air conditioner out.
Well, they have those corpses. I was thinking when they shoot those people, they should have just
thrown them in the back. Yeah, that would have been good for easy cleanup. You're right.
So then the wife and Bentley go to the cops. They go to the sheriff, and the sheriff refers to the truck of traffickers as greasy pepper bellies.
I thought I might have written something down about those cops, but those cops did not give a shit about it.
No. So those greasy pepper bellies, they don't care about them. And then we get that Slater is bitching to his assistants in a Las Vegas suite.
Which they bring the women to him fairly quick, right? I mean, they just seem fairly quick where he's like examining women or talking about women or shows the women or whatever. And Las Vegas is decently far from the border, right? It's like 5 hours.
Yes.
So I don't know. It seemed like it was a pretty quick cut to him wearing the same suit.
Oh, I didn't catch that. One thing I also didn't catch, but I read on IMDb, is that his hotel he stays at in the movie is named after something in the Edgar Allan Poe story, Cask of the Amontillado, which we did. I don't know if you remember or if you had this, but we read that story in junior high, and I like it.
I can't remember. I don't remember that. I remember the Telltale Heart.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, too. I think this was the year before we did Telltale Heart. We had Cask of the Amontillado, which is about a guy walling up a guy in vengeance down in some wine casks or something.
So there's a scene where he's sitting there and he's eating food and they're bringing the women and he's like just eating like random food. And it really looks like they just shot it on the soundstage, and that was craft services. He just either brought over, or I don't know if it was part of the scene or not, because this is just like vegetables and lunch meat, and it's just on a plate. Oh, yeah, just there like, nah. Well, that might be one of my favorite scenes of him too in the whole movie. It's just him sitting there with that craft services, like bitching about the women.
Yeah, that actually probably was one of the best parts. We're not there to it yet. First, where we go back to the house, we go to the house of Wes Bentley and the lady, his wife, and there's a corpse that Dolan has left a corpse in their house with the mouth sewn up, and it telling them to be quiet, which is pretty crazy. If he did that, why not just kill him or something?
Also done fairly quick before they got back.
Yeah,
like they went to the cops and then went back home, and all of a sudden he found out. He got their cell phone, figured out where they lived at, got a corpse, sewed it up, and then put it in their house.
Yeah, maybe, there's never mentioned, but maybe the cop was in on it. They meet the first time was in on it with Dolan. Maybe that's something that was cut to keep this movie under 3 hours long.
That would make more sense. They should have kept that in, cut some of the other stuff later on.
Because then the wife and Bentley, they go to the feds in Vegas, and this is where these people care about Dolan and they're promised protection. And this is where we finally go to the Dolan's crime warehouse, and he issues the orders of no cunny, no money to the triad guys, which reminded me of Nicholson in The Departed when he's like, no ticky, no laundry.
I bet that will come back later on in the movie.
Who is Sheriff Bob was Robert Benz, but who is the guy that is like the cop? Was it Fletcher?
I don't know. There's only one other actor in this movie I care to talk about. He's later on, and he's the best actor in the whole movie.
We'll get to him, but unfortunately, it'll be a long time from now.
Oh yeah,
there is.
I'm glad we didn't talk about this before, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, there's.
I think you know what I'm talking about. There's two of them it could be later on.
Yes. But one of them is awesome, and the other one is just wacky. So then we get the sign for we're in Vegas, and we get I guess they're going to hole up Bentley and his wife in a hotel that's going to be guarded at all the exits. But first we see the sign for the Terrible's Hotel Casino, which is also the site of the world's largest chevron.
Parts of this movie I just blacked out on.
No, they didn't tell you.
No. I just don't remember that whole shot of it.
Then Slater bitches about the quality of the sex slaves. This is the part in the
airplane. That's where he slaps them on the ass.
Yeah, empty studio.
Eating the craft service table food. It's great. The best scene. Not the best scene. My best scene with him in it, other than one of the very last scenes.
So we go back to the hotel with Bentley and his wife. He's telling her Dolan's going to kill her even if he goes to prison. Oh, now that they've been holed up for months now and are going stir crazy. So they've just been in this hotel suite for like months. But how much do you think Wes Bentley weighs in this movie?
I think by the end of it, after he goes he's definitely loses weight throughout the movie.
See, I think they try to make it seem like he gains weight.
Really? Because I think by the end of the movie, or at least by one part of the movie, he is like when his eyes are really sunken under, he looks like he looks like they at least made him try to look like he's lost weight throughout the movie.
My theory is that's how Wes Bentley normally looks, and they put makeup on him to make him look normal.
Earlier in the movie, they put makeup on him.
I don't think he actually loses or gains weight in the movie, but they try to make him seem more muscly by the very end. And here they try to make him look really soft and thin, but it's like, I feel like throughout this movie, he has an odd body type for a man his age. You just don't see a guy who weighs like 120 pounds of pure fat. Like when he takes off
as soon as Wes Bentley, everybody knows he kind of has like weird mannerisms and stuff, right? There's one scene in the hotel room where his like wife's on a computer or something. He just like gives her this weird stare and just like walks directly at her, like staring and like not really blinking. If it's ever on TV, just watch for that because he's weird.
Yeah, I was just weird because there's a part maybe later on where he takes his shirt off, and I was just like, he's so skinny, but it's like you just don't see a 40-year-old man who's that thin and that fat at the same time. It's like only grown-up child actors who live on pills and needing to stay thin for movies would ever have this body type. Cocaine.
I have another fun note here. It's about this time I think the first one gets done. There's a lot of phone throwing in this movie.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
I want to say there's at least 4 times where somebody just is on a cell phone and just gets angry at the cell phone and just throws the cell phone across the room. Dolan does it at least twice.
Yes.
And Wes Bentley does it at least once. And there might be another one thrown, just scattered through the movie somewhere.
This is like right before iPhone era when this is made, right?
Yeah.
They still have like flip phones.
Because they have flip phones, yeah.
Yes. And let's see. So they've been holed up in this place for months and going stir crazy, but apparently they've been boning because we now see that she's vomiting and we see another open pregnancy test after we've seen her take 2 pregnancy tests already in the movie, just in case our brain cells are dead. So then she runs out to her car for an unknown reason.
By the way, one earlier part in the movie, they have sex, or it's like, they just got done having sex or something like that. And she takes a pregnancy test and is not pregnant immediately and tells him to go, like, we need to go back in again. Like, that's not how it works.
Does she tell him why she goes out to the car after she...
No, he's asleep in the bed.
So do we ever find out why she had to go out to her car when she's not...
She was leaving to get more pregnancy tests because she goes over to the pregnancy test after she throws up to take another one. And the box is empty. And she's like, oh, I need to run right now.
Not tomorrow, not tell the guards.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not wake up my husband and tell him. And also not just figure out that, hey, that's why I'm sick.
So Bentley wakes up after she leaves and goes down and sees her at her car as she tries to turn the key. And of course the car blows up.
Oh, by the way, back up a little bit before that. He's not the only one that sees her at her car. There are 2 feds in like 2 cars over from her car that have been sitting there watching them the whole time, but somehow let Dolan's people sneak up and put a bomb on her car.
And then let her try to leave.
2 cars over. Yeah.
Wow. So Bentley sees his wife blow up and his unborn child that I guess he didn't know existed. And
yeah, that's true. He didn't know about her throwing
up from hanging out with Wes Bentley.
Which puts it a new wrinkle. Like, if he didn't know about the kid, possibility of the kid, like, why even have the whole...
That's a good point. Why do we need
to get us more invested?
Yes, I guess so. That's a good point. Why did it... Yeah, it really doesn't figure into the rest of the story at all.
No, he never mentions it. Nobody mentions it.
Oh, now
her dead ghost body that comes to him occasionally when he's going crazy doesn't even mention it.
No. So now he starts going crazy. He's depressed and he starts doing drugs and drinking, just taking maybe antidepressant pills. But yeah, he becomes like a big drunk and depressed guy. And we get our first, this is where we get
No.
Oh.
No. He's supposed to be taking antidepressant pills.
Oh, and he doesn't?
He dumps them into the fish tank.
Oh, wow.
That's what I remember. I have a note now that says that fish must be happy. And I was like, what is this note for? Yeah, there's like I think you hear his doctor talking to him, making sure he's taking the pills, or he's talking on the phone. He's like, yeah, I'm taking all the pills. And he's like, then he dumps them in the fish tank.
This is our first crazy montage of the movie, where we'll have several montages of Wes Bentley going crazy throughout the film, just to pad out the runtime.
This is the one where he
becomes a bad teacher.
Yeah, so he's at a chalkboard trying to write things on a chalkboard. But if you look, the things he's talking about as he's trying to write are already written on the chalkboard next to him. So he's even worse than, if you're not paying attention, he's even worse when you are paying attention.
The Fed tells him he'll get Dolan, and he doesn't believe him. So this is where he goes and buys the gun. And this is where
I forgot about this whole part of the movie.
Starts
getting brought it up because I just immediately assumed it would just go to the next part of the movie where he just like goes after does the crazy part.
He starts, he goes and buys this gun that apparently has 3 times the muzzle energy of Dirty Harry's gun. And then he goes and does target practice with this gun, and he misses terribly. And then there's an avalanche and like a landslide from this gun, and also the kick from the gun knocks him down. And you really do get a feeling of how small a man Wes Bentley must be when he's holding this gun.
Yeah, he does look like a child holding it, like a toy gun or something.
Yeah, he's got to be a little guy. There's another movie I watched, I can't think of the title, a while back with Slater and Bentley. It's an even lower budget movie by far, and in it Wes Bentley plays a guy who's on drugs once again, goes crazy.
Oh, surprise.
And he's that one another where you're like, man, he's like the size of a child. So
we can get regular actors and have them lose weight for this role, or we can just get Wes Bentley, who's already in shape for it.
Well, did you read who they wanted for the parts? It was
no.
It was surprise, surprise. Christian Slater and Wes Bentley were not their first choices. It was almost made, I guess, with Sylvester Stallone as Dolan and Kevin Bacon as Robinson.
I would like to see Sylvester Stallone as Dolan.
He would have made more
I don't know
sense.
about Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon is probably more bankable actors at this point. Yeah, so this was a step down. But then we have Dolan appraising more whores. And this is the one where he sees that really tall, thick prostitute. Do you remember that? Like the one that looks like she should be like an East German athlete.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, ooh, I need to take this one for a test drive, and takes her to the Cadillac.
Yeah, she wasn't even the best looking one for sure.
No, but that's Weekend is like he has like some kind of wacky tastes. Now we see Bentley improving with his target practice. Dolan loves whores. More of that. There's one part I forget where he complains or something. He said like all the whores are kind of hot, and he's like, "What if we like go to some island of supermodel refugees?" And I was thinking the same thing when they showed up. I was like, "How did he get all these like hot refugees?" And I wonder if he just improvised that line. We have another montage of Wes Bentley going crazy. And maybe stalking Dolan at this point with the gun.
Yep.
And he repeats all that opening monologue of things about Dolan turning your prostate to Kool-Aid. And Bentley ends up outside Dolan's hotel with the super gun. So this is a massive departure from the short story.
I would imagine none of this part's in the short story.
None of it.
Where he screws up, or when he tried like this part with the gun and everything.
In the story, he just thinks about buying a gun and then realizes Dolan is too well protected in his head.
Yeah, which is why I forgot about it, because I would think it would just skip storytelling wise to him, like something like that, him thinking it through a little bit, and then skip to what he does at the end.
Yeah, and he's like holding the super gun like out that pillar.
The pillar that he's hiding behind a window on the hotel. There's a window behind him at the hotel that he's like right behind. It just happens to have has the blinds that go from the ceiling down, like the single pieces of plastic next to each other.
The triad tries to kill Dolan on the street in the carport of this hotel, and you find out the caddy's bulletproof, and then his assistant kills them all, and Slater says more racist stuff in the car about Asian people and long.
So do they, in the book, is there more about his car is actually being...
They mention that it's bulletproof
custom,
but I don't know that they go into that much like stuff that it has or anything. Like much like in this, we don't really find out that many things the car has.
Yeah, I think that was one of my complaints the first time you and I watched it. Was like, it's called Dolan's Cadillac. They only spend basically that one scene on showing anything about his Cadillac.
Well, so spoiler, a lot of time goes by in this story, but also a lot of time goes by in the short story. And the big theme of the short story is that Wes Bentley or Robinson drives this super crappy old Buick. And throughout the years, Dolan trades up Cadillacs as time goes by, but Robinson's crappy Buick just gets crappier and crappier. It's the same one as each.
He does have a pretty, towards the end of the movie, he has that crappy car.
His car is pretty crappy in the car.
He has it up on like a jack towards the end.
But I think in this movie, the theme is that a male teacher is kind of a soft, worthless loser that can't do and just teaches because, well, we'll come up. And so instead of thinking about buying the gun and not doing it, he thinks of the easiest way maybe to kill Slater, buys the biggest gun he can to feel more like a man. Bentley struggles with the child safety lid on the drugs in his hotel room. And Bentley stalks Dolan, has his routine down. And his assistants are very poor at spotting a drugged out stalker in an old crazy car that's kind of identifiable as the same old crazy car. It's not like you're right, the car is crazy.
Yeah, throughout this part, I think this is where it kind of starts, right? This part after the montages is where he actually does start seeing his dead wife and she whispers things to him.
I think she was with him at the gun store, maybe.
Yeah, because she says like, yeah, buy it or whatever. Yeah, whenever she shows it to him, or we'll take it. And he says, I'll take it or something like that. She has, the way they decked her out in this movie, they tried to make like that she got blown up, so she has burn marks over hers. But they put like a meat eye patch. It's obviously just like an eye patch or something that they glued prosthetics on, and it just looks like a meat eye patch. It's terrible. It's terrible makeup work.
He follows Dolan onto a detour, and none of these look like real freeways or the freeway in and out of Vegas. When you drive up there, it doesn't look like this at all. It looks like they just found some old desert roads they could film on cheaply. And it
looks like the middle of nowhere in New Mexico or Phoenix, like outside of Phoenix somewhere or something.
It's like Nevada that isn't Las Vegas, which is no.
Yeah.
Or
some part of California. That's
or Canada. See. We get more evil monologues from Dolan. And this one, they finally see, the assistants finally see Wes Bentley's car turning around at the detour or something via their security cam. And they see him go to this gas station they pull up to. And they kind of identify that this guy's been following them. Wes Bentley goes into this gas station bathroom to pee, and then on either side of Wes Bentley, Slater and his main assistant show up on his sides to pee next to him.
Then they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, we get him talking about the arc of descent, which is in the story, except for I think that Robinson comes up with it through something that will happen later on in this story partly. But yeah, they beat the shit out of Wes Bentley and take his gun at first. And then Slater changes his mind and goes back in and gives them the gun and tells them he's not man enough to either kill himself with the gun or kill him with the gun. But he's going to let him keep it as like a memento of what a pussy he is.
Which was true.
Yeah. And then now we have Bentley back at school teaching his kids about the Arc of Ascent and coughing up blood in a very kind of Fight Clubby kind of thing. And where he has the erasers in that line and he's like pushing them into the trash can.
I was going to ask you if this is where he does. If this is where he does that, or if this is where that was before. But yeah, you're right. This is the second time at the school.
I wouldn't have minded a little more of this, or if I'd really seen a depressed teacher do this when I was in school. Act this way. Probably the closest I had was Mrs. Dort. Seemed pretty dead inside. I can kind of barely remember her.
There had to be some. And I had an English teacher in high school that was pretty bad, but I think that was just because of us. So
then we have a part where the police, the Fed guy has Wes Bentley come out to a crime scene that they're trying that Dolan is behind and they can't prove it. Why would this ever happen in life?
Yeah, I mean it does look like the same exact place where his wife saw the guys get shot, but
yeah, it's like, hey, let me call this non-witness to another crime.
Yeah, hey, remember your dead wife was a witness. You want to come look at what she saw?
Yeah, this won't traumatize you more at all. This guy's not disturbed enough. Hey, come check this out.
There is a scene a little before this where Wes Bentley is doing a monologue over the top or whatever, and he talks about Christian Slater, and he says Dolan looks like anyone you'd see on the Las Vegas street or something like that. I was like, I don't think Christian Slater looks like anybody you would see anywhere.
No, not really. And then in the story, Dolan, I think throughout the story, his hair goes to a cool steel gray. Like the years go by and Dolan goes gray, but his hair is supposed to look really cool as it gets older. But Robinson goes bald in the story, which I didn't think Wes Bentley didn't go bald. So that was another contrast between them, is that Robinson just gets balder and balder.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot more time goes by in the book.
Yeah.
Like in the movie,
it's just kind of like maybe 2 years or something.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. About 2 years.
So Bentley now moves to a new town, and this is where he tries to get hired on in the construction crew.
Tries to get hired on.
Yes.
Like they need people, like all construction crews probably do, but they're like, no, not you crazy tiny drug addict.
This is where we get, I hope, the guy you're talking about. My favorite character in the film for sure.
The boss. I hope you're thinking of the boss.
Yes, I am. But he's not a very famous actor. And in fact, I looked up things that he was in and decided not to watch any of them because they seemed so shitty. His name is Tony Munch.
I've seen him in a couple of things before. That just showed up.
Boondock
I'm not sure. 2? I'm not sure which one. Yeah, maybe Boondock Saints 2. He's in. Is that 12 Monkeys, the TV show?
Yeah.
And then I'm looking through it now, trying to see if there's any of these that I remember off the top of my head.
Dracula 2000 is the only movie I ever saw him in.
At some point in time, I watched all the Cube movies, and he's in at least one, maybe two of those. So maybe it was one of those I saw him into.
But yeah, he really stole this movie for me, and I hope he gets more work as the crew boss. And he's got some crazy glasses in it that add a little to his performance. We also meet the weird, I don't know if he's Haitian.
By the way, I'm sorry, his crazy glasses that are in the movie, I think are just his crazy glasses.
Oh, so does he wear those in like a lot of movies?
I think so. I think he just has big glasses. But I don't understand, like, after this movie, why he wasn't getting better work. Because he was the best part about the whole movie.
He was good. But contrasting with the, like, Haitian voodoo man or whatever this guy is supposed to be. That guy was
unneeded Haitian guy. He doesn't even get the job, right? They won't hire him until he says, like...
Highway 71, which is the highway from, if you're going to Vegas from, like, California. It's like the big highway out there all the way from, like, Denver through Arizona to Vegas to Utah is 71. Yeah, and he's supposed to working on it all summer, and it's gonna be hot. It makes grown men cry.
Yeah, but remember, they don't want to hire him. They're not going to hire him until he pulls out his dad's pocket watch and basically says, like, if I quit, you can keep my pocket watch. And they're like, deal.
And this is sort of where the movie turns, where they give him this job, because now all of a sudden he starts slowly turning into a real man. The revenge and the hard work start turning him into a worthwhile human being. Because when Slater tells him all that stuff about how he's a worthless guy and all this stuff, that's pretty much what we've seen, is just this soft loser who wallows in his despair and buys a gun and thinks it'll solve his problems. But now it's like he starts having his plan and putting it into action, and he uses his, like, math skills and construction skills, and he gets the job. Luckily gets a promotion where they show him how to use equipment. Like, if he never got that promotion, what's his whole plan going to be? Yeah. We get the promotion. The guy is pretty good too, Tony Munch, because he's like, I don't want your watch. You take your watch. He's like, you can't fire me, boys. I'm not firing you. I was going to promote you to forklift operator. Yeah, you left out an important word, though. Assistant? He says, I'm not going to fire you, fucktard. The Haitian guy is going to show you how to work a forklift. That's how that guy talked. Yeah, so he starts leaving. I wrote fucktard down because he does say it. It's hilarious what that guy says it with his big bubbles glasses on. Yeah, we get a lot of like more montages of he finds out when they'll be working on the highway at what dates, and he starts doing some real Travis Bickle shit, trying to make his Dolan trap at home. He gets he's painting and slashing and measuring and cutting and stretching canvas. Do you think this stuff he does would be convincing? No. I really don't either. It's like he makes. I mean, it looks okay, like when they show it. But they're probably just showing a real road and like, look. Or they're showing it from angles that, as you moved in the car, things would change in perspective. But whatever. Probably not
I mean, when you're driving, how often you're like looking, like that driver's probably not looking at the road, like right in front of him.
And Dolan appraises more horrors. This is where he asks if he finds the refugee camp full of supermodels. Wes Bentley gets promoted to forklift operator and gets given the watch back. We get another montage, at least our fourth montage of the movie, if not our fifth. And Robinson's now become a man. And this is a bad movie, but it's like, you can see that when they wrote it and stuff, it wasn't cynical. They actually tried. The stuff they filled it out with is actually like trying to tell you what the writer at least feels is like a good moral lesson or something. So it's not cynical, but it's not too good. Then he's
Dolan. I mean, did you miss the part where Dolan sort of gets a promotion too?
Oh, you're right. He moves into a new form of trafficking,
which they don't tell you for a while what it is, because they don't tell him for a while what it is either.
What is it? I forgot.
Children.
So at this point, we've gone far enough in the movie that he's actually seen through his whole Dolan trap. He set the trap up, and then he sets up like his own like detour thing on the road.
Well, isn't it a normal detour?
Oh yeah,
it is a detour. And he moves the detour, all the detour stuff. He somehow knows exactly when Dolan's coming and moves all of the detour stuff off to the side and covers it up. Dolan's car comes in, falls into his trap, and then luckily they can't get out any way whatsoever.
No, he set a deadfall. And this is where we get the arc of descent in the story, is there's a lot in the story about he goes and talks to a mathematician buddy of his, or calls him on the phone and says he's researching, he's going to maybe write a sci-fi story, and he's researching it, and he gets all this plan for this hole. What happens is, they have Dolan's Cadillac fall into a big hole. There's a deadfall covered up with his like fake road, and the Cadillac falls into it. But there's a lot in the short story about him planning this hole and the size of the hole, and the arc of descent of the Cadillac into the hole is the arc of the descent that he's planning, and gets into he kind of gets fascinated with that term.
But I mean, it's lucky for him that Dolan also can't escape from the moonroof.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I thought of this too. In the book, there's no moonroof. Yeah, and he can't get out of the moonroof is one of the funniest things. The Cadillac has a moonroof, and it's like he throws him in a hole. I also had another theory of why they couldn't use the Cadillac symbol, was maybe Cadillac didn't want them to because the movie starred a guy named Bentley.
I think you're definitely right that Cadillac didn't want them to, but I don't know if that's the reason. But it's a funny reason.
So the car crashes into this hole, and it fucks up the two assistants badly. It kills one of them, I believe. The Delta gets killed.
Go on to Sykes' character, dead.
And so now Dolan's going to try to fight back, and Wes Bentley starts fucking with him and saying all this.
The other guy you're talking about gets fucked up. They do show his leg, and it looks kind of cool. His shin bone basically pops out and is sticking out. And he even talks about how he tries to shove it back in, but it's too sharp.
That's right. And then he bitches so much that Christian Slater just shoots him and kills him.
Yeah, but that takes 15 minutes, I think, of this story. He's in this hole for like the last 30 minutes of the movie almost, it seems like. I don't know what time-wise, how much it is, but it seems like it's like this last part takes about 30 minutes. Once he's in there, once they first slam in there and can't get out, other people start coming down this road, right? So he's got to run back out
and change
take all the detour signs, put them all back up before these people get there.
Well, he's got the
and then hope they don't hear anybody screaming when they get up to the stop sign or up to the detour sign and stop, and then slow roll it down, because they're like 20 feet past the detour signs where his hole's at. They're not very far.
In the story, though, he does with binoculars, he watches cars come, because he's like, got to spring his trap a certain amount of time before the Cadillac gets there. And it's like him like kind of imagining a car is the car, then it won't be the car. And then him like being like, okay, is this it? No, be calm. And it's like a lot of him self-doubting about whether or not he'll actually pull this off. No ghost wife. And then,
yeah. That'd have been nice to have her to show up at the end when he's actually doing this.
Yeah, she never.
I guess he's not as crazy now. He like has his plan, like to your point, like he
thinks of her less, except for we find out. Or when he asks him to scream. I guess Slater, this goes on a long time. Slater ends up killing his assistant, and I think at some point he does get out of the moonroof. Somehow
part of it opens, right? Oh, yeah, part of it opens and he gets his gun out at least, right? To shoot.
Starts trying to
a couple
shoot
shots off.
Yeah, and this is where Wes Bentley busts the gun out again and shoots at him, I think. So Wes Bentley still has that gun and shoots it at him. And this is where the movie kind of, after being a story...
He luckily also has Wes Bentley luckily also has a shovel up at one point right by his head that Dolan shoots the shovel twice.
And this is where I guess like Wes Bentley starts filling in the hole slowly with dirt. And when the movie kind of shifts, at first it was a movie about the layers of a guy sort of bottoming out and then becoming a man. Now it's like a movie about stages of negotiation when you're desperate, with Dolan. Becomes the new kind of arc of the film. And so the first thing is he offers him money. $1.2 million cash that's apparently in a bag, which doesn't look like that much cash. I don't know, maybe they're still using $1,000 bills in 2009.
It's a pretty big case, though. It's not like a regular suit. It's like one of the ones that's like a big kind of boxy suitcase, but yeah.
I mean, you'd have to have what? How many hundred thousands of $100 bills would you have to have? 100, right? You'd have to have 100,000 hundreds. No. 10. I can't do math. You'd have to have 1,000 hundreds. Yeah, you could have 1,000.
Yeah, you could have that in there, in that bag.
You're right.
But the number goes up, right? That's not enough.
No, and Bentley also can't see inside, so doesn't know whether or not the offer is real.
Yeah, but we learned later he's not taking that anyway.
No. So the number goes up to 2 million and 5 million or something like that throughout, and Bentley makes Dolan go to his site on his laptop. So Dolan can't call out with his cell phone. Somehow Wes Bentley has cut off all of Dolan's abilities to use his computer and his cell phone. But yet he's made it so there's like intranet or something, and he can only pull up one site. And it's a site that's a cam of camera footage outside the Cadillac of Wes Bentley. And
was it on a laptop or was it on his
GPS? Maybe it's on his GPS.
Which is funny because the whole thing didn't have power, right?
Yeah.
So how was that running?
Oh, that's what he did. He cut the power. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Anyway, but is this where he negotiates further with him, not about money?
Yes, he makes him an interesting offer now. Wes Bentley says, is this where he's just had him telling him to scream?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but first he offers to repent.
Oh, no, the scream is first.
Okay, so the screaming is first.
Yeah, so he makes him scream and then scream louder and scream louder. And then he just throws more dirt on the car.
You need a little louder.
And then he just keeps screaming and is like, I can scream more.
He tells him he needs to scream as loud as whatever the wife's car is blowing up.
But then, he calls him right on the cell phone or whatever again after he throws more dirt on the car.
Yeah.
And then the last one's like, what do you say, $5 million is what you offer me? Like, I think what he says, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think he says, I don't even want that. I just want you to answer one question. Oh,
that's right. This is a little later. First, Dolan I think, offers to repent and changes all his ways. Then he offers to turn himself in. And this, you think, may sway Bentley, the offer for him to turn himself in for all his crimes. And he begs Bentley to clean dirt away from the top that's getting pretty filled so he can come out and show how ready he is to repent. Bentley doesn't clear any... Oh, this is where Bentley doesn't clear any of the dirt away, but somehow Slater pops out of the moonroof and
fires off the 2 shots into his shovel.
Yeah.
And he dives away, and then comes back and fires shots back at him. And then I think he uses the shovel to knock the gun out of Slater's hand, too.
And then we have another trippy montage of time going by. And Slater, I guess, carries oxygen tanks in the Cadillac.
I forgot about that.
It has all the oxygen come in.
And he rips his shirt off, too.
Yeah, you're right. And this is where Bentley tells Slater he'll let him live if he can answer one question truthfully.
The one question is, do you believe in God?
And he just tells him to take the money if he'll take the money and just dig him out.
Yeah, and Christian Slater does what you think he would and says, yes, I believe in God. Yes, I believe.
And then Bentley says,
I don't.
And then that's the end of the negotiation. But he has to ask Slater to tell the truth. But it's like, if he just doesn't believe the same thing Slater believes, is Slater lying?
Well, either way, I think he would just say the opposite of whatever Slater says, right? And it's like, oh no, well I do. But I mean, at that point, he probably doesn't anyway. His wife died and all that.
So he
malarkey.
He buries Slater alive.
So here's, two parts about that. At the very beginning, he has an excavator there, right next to the car. He pulls dirt over to the hole with an excavator.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets a shovel out and just does one shovel at a time on top of the car. Instead of using the excavator itself, which I get at the beginning, but then he does it the entire time. And then also, it wasn't until Slater popped out of the moonroof with his gun once or twice that he uses the excavator finally to press down on the moonroof to hold the moonroof down. Like, you'd think he would have done that right away to make sure he didn't get out.
Nope.
Of the moonroof, but nope.
Robinson gets a phone call just as he finally has he puts heavy stones now on top of the Cadillac so that it will be covered up there. No air can get in and people will have a hard time getting in there. And so
the heavy stones are the road though, right? I mean, it's even with the road at that point.
And this is where
it's right on top. It's like an inch thick. The stones are about an inch or two thick, and they're right on top of the car.
Yeah.
There's no way that's holding up people running over that car with their car. It's going to get crushed sooner or later. So I'm sure the engineer in the book did a pretty good job, but not in the movie.
So this is where he gets the phone call, and this is where we find out what Dolan's new business was, I guess, because he gets a call from the Fed who says finally warrants have been issued for Dolan for trafficking children.
They had a raid, right? They had a raid, and they got all the kids and got everything. So they said we got them. We're gonna get them.
And Wes Bentley lays on top of the covered car and laughs to himself or something.
Yeah, I think he says. Does he say, "Yeah, we're getting them" or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank God the movie is over at that point.
The end. Then I noticed in the credits there were two dolly grips, and they went by the name of Cobus Vermack and Daniel Shingoose.
Traditional Canadian name.
Yes, especially Daniel Shingoose. And then the vehicles were provided by Papa John Johns.
Not affiliated with Cadillac.
Or Papa John's.
And spoilers.
Let's go to the Slater Raider. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate the movie Dolan's Cadillac in quality?
Man, there's some worse movies out there for sure. I'd give it like a 4. Maybe a 4.5 or so.
That's pretty generous.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
I actually liked it better upon rewatch than I did the first time in a weird way.
There were some parts of it that were like not shot very well too, that like were just grainy for no reason.
I
don't know if that was like just because it's old and I was watching it on some weird streaming site now or not, but
I'm gonna give it. Man, I'm debating between a 3 and a 4. It was bad, but I kind of admired that it wasn't just a programmer. Like, it was trying to be a good movie. Like, no one was like just trying to. Well, I mean, maybe the actors were phoning it in, but the writer and director.
But not Christian Slater so much. He's not fun. He wasn't phoning that scream and the tearing the shirt off bit. It may have been phoning in the eating the meat thing and making fun of the whores.
What about, because that brings us to category 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate Christian Slater's performance?
Out of his other performances?
Or just on a scale, how do you like his acting in the movie? It's kind of tough to define, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 6. A 6 out of 10 Slater acting, I guess.
I'll give it a 6 as well. He's good, but I feel like this is one of those things where another actor would have been better. Like, he was miscast.
What if they made him Wes Bentley's character?
Yeah, that would have made sense.
And then they had Sylvester Stallone as Dolan.
It's kind of like you can kind of see where they're going with having Christian Slater, other than just he's maybe the best name they could get to get funding for the movie, is that you could imagine Jack Nicholson more in the part than Christian Slater. But it's just there's something very untough about old man Christian Slater. Him as as an adult just isn't like
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, he doesn't have the
bravado like the.
Yeah, he just isn't intimidating or scary at all. You're right. He'd be way better in the Wes Bentley role. As a kid, you could see him growing up to be a guy that would be scary in some way, but it just didn't happen. He seems sweet. Like, he seems like a nice, well-adjusted guy. Like, it really seems like he's having to do a performance to play a sleazebag, which is odd knowing what we know about Christian Slater.
What are you talking about? He's a model citizen.
Then we go to, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hunky did you find Christian Slater in this movie?
Oh, man. I mean, his hair is pretty cool. He does rip his shirt off at one point.
And he's in good shape. That's one of those deceptive
Yeah,
things where it's
he
like,
was surprisingly good shape when he ripped his shirt off.
it's funny, like his face is always puffy, and then it's like in the movie, it turns out like all of a sudden he's in really good shape.
He is old man Slater, though. That
His clothes are kind
I'll
of
give him a 6. I'll give him another 6. His suits are pretty nice. They fit him pretty well.
I'm just gonna go with a 5. I really can't go over a 5 on this one for it. Like it's like I don't know.
Yeah, I was just
He's a little hunkier to you, but I would. He's not on Tiger Beat. I would put this Slater on a Tiger Beat magazine.
That's true. That's true. Not even like a over 40 Tiger Beat.
Maybe an over 40 Tiger Beat. Maybe not. Well, in our last category is these are negative points on a scale of 0 to -10. How much more Christian Slater would you have liked to have seen in the movie? And that means that a -10 would be you wanted to see like 100% or a lot more.
Okay,
Slater.
at least a -6.
Good call.
There's big chunks of Wes Bentley and his wife that like don't necessarily need to be in the movie. But I'd rather see more of like his operations and what crazy stuff Dolan's doing out in the streets of Las Vegas.
You're right. Very right. Now in the book or in the story, there is very little of Dolan. It's all just Robinson and him, and very little Dolan. And
I'm glad I didn't watch or read the book.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. So yeah, I'm gonna go with -7. Yeah. I think that brings this movie very much to another score of we got 4, or did you go 4.5 or 4 on quality?
I'll go with the 4.
Okay, so
just to keep things round.
And then we've got a 6 and a 5, or no, 2 6s maybe on performance, then a 5 and a 6 on hunkiness, and then a -7 and a -6 on how much more Dolan we wanted. That's an F. That's another F for Dolan's Cadillac. And now, before we go to...
It's a surprise.
We've got a brand new segment because we have our financial expert. We're going to play financial games.
Financial games for financial games. Financial games for financial games.
Financial gains.
What is this? What is this segment all about?
Well,
me guessing how much money they made on this movie?
You sell and trade and buy sports memorabilia and sports cards through the majesties of the internet. And
correct.
You have obtained
which a lot of people like to make fun of nowadays, but is actually very profitable.
That's why you're the financial expert, not those other people.
Unless you're the government, and then in that case, it's not profitable at all.
And you have procured a complete set of Robin. Unfortunately, there are no Dolan's Cadillac trading cards, but there is a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves trading card set from Topps. And you have the complete set, which features not one, but several cards featuring Christian Slater and his character Will Scarlet. And then I think you have a single extra Will Scarlet card.
7 Will Scarlet cards and 1 sticker card.
And how many cards are in the set?
55. There are 55 cards in the set and 9 stickers.
Well, only 55 cards in the whole set.
I mean, what characters in Prince of Thieves are you actually making cards out of? Like, let me think on my, maybe like 7, 8.
Now look up for me if you will. This might take you a second to find out, but you are the expert, so I knew you would know a better place to look than me. How much is the set worth right now, and how much is a Christian Slater card worth right now?
This will take me a second. I'm sure you'll be amazed or not amazed. The last full set and sticker set together sold for a whopping $4.25.
Okay, and what about just the regular Will Scarlet card? We won't look into all 7 of those cards featuring Will Scarlet.
And that would be, I don't see an alone card, but the sticker last sold for $4. So you might as well just buy a whole set.
Well, so we're going to play a game here. We're going to play a financial game. I have here 16 packs of Robin Hood trading cards that I'm going to open one at a time. And we're going to guess, we're going to each hypothesize how many, and each pack has 8 cards. So we have 16 packs of 8 cards. and we're going to each hypothesize how many cards featuring Christian Slater I will get in these 8 times 16 is
128.
yes. So how many do you think?
Oh, there's 55 cards in a set.
So you get
plus
a 1 in
9
8
stickers.
chance.
Plus 9 stickers, right? So you get a chance to get in a sticker. But did you buy them all from the same place?
I did. I bought a box. So there are also 16
so it's a
packs
whole
we will
box?
not look at right now.
So it's out of a whole box?
Yes.
Okay.
They're unopened packs.
I'm gonna say you'll get 7. I'm gonna say you're gonna get 7, but you might not get all
7 of them
different
and the
7.
sticker. Okay.
You might get some extra of 1 or 2.
Okay, so you say 7. I'm going to say 8. 1 for every 2 packs. All right. Now we'll start opening the packs. Pack number 1. Oh, look, our very first card is a Christian Slater. We're already up to 1. A Will Scarlet card. Then let's see what we've got here. We've got...
Hey, I got one of those right there.
Nice. We've got Leader of the Woodsman. That's with, what's his face? Not Will Scarlet. Kevin Costner. Then we've got Arrows of Justice, also not with him. Then
it's funny that there's only 55 cards, but there's 128 in a box, so you have a chance of getting 2 sets out of 1 box.
That's true. And then we've got not Christian Slater. Oh, we've got a second Christian Slater card that says Awaiting Battle with Will Scarlet in some woods. So we're already at 2. Wow, we're ahead of the schedule here.
Yeah, I should have.
Then we've got another one without him. Then we've got... Captured. If I'm not mistaken, that is also Will Scarlet being captured in this card.
Oh, I might not have counted that as him. It's been a while since I've seen the movie.
Looks like, well, there's a guy holding his hair, which makes it... I think that's a third one.
Yeah, or is that Robin Hood? Because he had hair in that movie, too.
No, I think that's Christian Slater.
Yeah, because they did capture him.
Okay, so we want to go up and say there are 8 out of 55 chances to get him?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 8 out of 55. But we're already at 3. 3 in the first pack. That's pretty good. And
real quick, what are you rating the hunkiness of him in this card?
I have 9 cards in here. Oh, I'm gonna go with a 10.
Smoldering at the camera.
Then we've got Azim, and then we've got
that was one of the 8 people I thought they made a card out of. Who?
Robin Trapped, which also does Will Scarlet. So we got 3 in pack number 1. Now I'll open pack number 2. Let's see. Oh, look, we immediately have another Christian Slater card. It says A Hero's Death.
Sounds like these are already opened.
No.
Which one is that?
A Hero's Death.
Oh, yeah. Hero's Death. Just a picture of him like in the studio clothes.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't even look like it's from the movie at all. It's his ghost. Then we've got A Plan is Hatched. He's not in that one. Then we've got The Face of Terror with Michael Wincott as the Face of Terror. Another Captured. So we're now at 5 cards.
Should have taken the over on my bet.
Yeah. Then we've got Get the Point, Jizzborn.
You haven't gotten to the best ones yet.
We've got another one that's not him. Oh, this looks like it might be the sticker. Yeah, I think it's the sticker one, but not of him. It's of Robin of Loxley. Another Plan is Hatched, The Sheriff's Plot, and England at Long Last, which I don't know who these guys are with Robin Hood here, but I don't think either of them is Christian Slater. The hair doesn't look right at all. So that was only 1 in that pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, there were 2. There was the Captured and A Hero's Death. So we're up to 5 in 2 packs.
4 that aren't copies, right? So you have 4 of the 9, we'd say, with the sticker, right?
Yes. Then we're at pack number 3. And we've got Robin Hood doing some swashbuckling.
Oh, it's a nice one.
Looks like that's a sticker. And we've got a Maid Miriam. Also looks like that's a sticker.
Oh, by the way, on the back of the stickers, you can make a little
puzzle.
Make a little puzzle.
Then we've got Condemned to Hang, which you would think was Will Scarlet, but I don't think he's in this one at all. And then,
there's another one where he's on the gallows thing.
Okay. And then we've got Maid Marian. And then we have Striking Back, which is
that's
Christian
one of the better
Slater.
ones.
Yeah, look at that.
That's him
That is
on
a
it,
good
yeah.
one. Let's see there. All right, that's brings us up to 6.
You still haven't gotten to my favorite one yet.
Good.
Well, there's 2 of them I like.
Then we got Sherwood Ablaze. He's not in that one. Make Way for the Beggar. He might be in that, but we won't count it. It's a big, big crowd scene. Well, maybe that's him on the gallows there. So you're Happily Ever After. Azim Prays by Night. That England at Long Last again. So that one only had 1 card. So we're only up to 6, but we've got many, many more cards to look at. We're up.
It's been a long time since I've seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Me too.
Like when I think about it, a lot of times I think about stuff that's in
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
An Epis issue 4. We've got 4. Which immediately has another hero's
Boom.
death. So we are now up to 7. We've hit your guess.
It was a double. It was another double, right?
Another double. Then we've got Surprise Attack. He's not in that one. Oh, Striking Back again. So now we've hit my guess. Wow, we're going to really hit the over on this. Then we've got Azim again in a sticker form. We've got Michael Wincott in sticker form. We've got something with Robin of Loxley, Maid Marian and Robin Loxley, Happily Ever After. Haven't seen any cards with Sean Connery in them yet.
I bet he was like, "You're not putting me in the cards."
Arrows of Justice. You won't be trading off me. That's more Irish. I don't know. See here. Then we've got pack number 5. So we're at 8 through 4 packs. So we're averaging 2 per pack. And then look at pack number 5. Immediately a hero's death.
So, but that's another double. How many are we missing out of what we said there was 9 total?
I don't know. We've had 3 doubles, maybe 4 doubles with the we've had 2 of the Striking Back and 3 of a hero's death.
Okay.
All right, let's see. We'll go through these ones faster. They'll get to the point Jizborn.
So you haven't gotten the one that's just his card yet, right?
I think that was the first one we pulled out,
Was it?
maybe.
Will Scarlet. It was just Will Scarlet.
Yeah.
Well, there's one the first one you pulled out was the sticker.
Oh, then no.
And there's another one that's almost the same picture as the sticker. Well, there is one that's exactly the same picture as the sticker, and then there's another one that's even closer up of his face.
Well, then we've got A Sworn Enemy is Made.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Arrow through his hand.
Nice. That brings us up to 10. That was the last card in pack number 5. Now we'll go up to pack number 6. We've got Maid Marian sticker.
Sure.
Sticker number 4. Oh, we've got another Will Scarlet, Awaiting Battle, which is a double, by the way.
Yeah, I like that one. It's just his head sticking out of the bushes.
Yes. Looks like a fun day playing in some bushes for Christian Slater. Then we've got Robin in Disguise, another Jizborn. I'm going to get to the point Jizborn. Robin Trapped, Surprise Attack, Preparations for Royal Wedding, and Safe at Last. So only one in that one too. And we'll go up to pack number 7. First one, A Sworn Enemy is Made yet again.
Nice.
So that's another double. We're already up to 12. Let's see here. Then we've got Spoils of War. That's not one of them. Something with Little John. It's not one of them. Doesn't look like him either. It's Robin of Loxley fighting a lot of Little John in this pack.
Yeah, so when I think of Little John, I always think of the Little John from Men in Tights. I don't even know what the one from Prince of Thieves looks like anymore.
Well, spoiler, the one from Men in Tights is like the bodyguard in True Romance of the movie producer Lee Donowitz. Spoiler for episode 8 of the Christian Slater Monitor.
That movie better not be getting an F, or I got something to say.
We'll see. Then we've got pack number 8. Temper's Flare.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's our first one at that.
I think there might be, I can't remember if we have this one or this one yet.
Oh, he's in 2.
I'm just going to wait and see until you pull them, and if we don't, then we'll go through them. But I think you're only missing 2.
Let's see.
In the set now.
We've got no. Lots of Azim this time. pack from above. Doesn't look like him either. Let's see here. And Battle of Nottingham. Nope. That was it for that pack. Now we got pack number 9. No. Sticker ones are hard to show down in Sherwood. We'll just assume he's not in that. Midnight Council of War and The Journey Begins. Oh, and then something just telling us about the series. That's a lame card. Look at this lame card you can get. How'd you like to be a kid and get that in your set? That sucks. A secret revealed. Gisborne's Revenge. No good ones there. So that was a no one. Sad. We didn't draw them on there. And we got pack number 10. Temper's Flare again.
All right, nice.
Brings us up to 14 total.
You have one in front of you that just says his name?
Not yet.
Okay, so that's definitely one you're missing. And then do you have one that says friend or traitor?
Ooh, I think we might have seen that one. Like friend.
Okay.
We might have seen that one. I'll look. I haven't been setting them aside. I've just been keeping them.
Yeah, I can't remember if we saw that one or not. So I think there's only one or two to go, but I think at least one for sure.
That was the only one in that one. Which brings us to pack number 11. And we got the sticker again. It's like the first one in every pack is a Christian Slater.
Gotta give people what they want.
That's right. Maid Marian. Oh, here's the striking back again.
Okay.
So we're up to 16, doubling our top.
I should have thought about this more.
Yeah. Well, I just chose low because I thought that I would be unlucky. It was really a pessimistic guess about my relationship with fortune. All right, so we're up to pack number 12. That was it for pack number 11. But if I don't get the one that's just Will Scarlet in any of the packs, then was I unlucky? And we got, once again, the very first one, Awaiting
Look at me
Battle.
hiding.
Leader of the Woodsman, Battling Little John. That shitty Topps trading card one again. Oh, we've got Captured, and Maid Marian, and Robin Trapp. So we got, we're up to 18. That brings us to pack 13. No, he's not in the first one this time. I also lied, and each pack has 9 cards, not 8 in it, apparently.
Oh, well, that would have made a difference. That's 16 more cards.
Yes, you're right. But he wasn't in any of these. No, it says 8. Oh, you get 8 cards and a sticker. That makes it 9. There you go. Okay, we are all the way up to pack number 14 without getting the Will Scarlet card. Only Will Scarlet stickers. What a rip so far. All right, we've got...
Whoever bought these cards? Like, even when you were a kid, you weren't I want the Prince of Thieves cards. What's that? Baseball cards? No.
We got these from your favorite movie, Prince of Thieves. This is from when they they don't really do this anymore, where every movie that they thought would be big, they would try to come up with any way they could have tie-ins and spin products. Like collect all the Batman Taco Bell cups, kids. Okay, so we're up to 15. Or wait, looks like I opened 17 cards, so maybe there were 34 packs too. So our guesses are way off. It's only opened half the packs.
There's 34 packs in there?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But we're only going through 17 of them. Let's keep going. A sworn enemy is made.
You easily get more than one set of cards out of there.
Well, we'll see. And let's see here. Oh, a hero's death again, bringing us up to 20. And there's our sticker. It's not a Will Scarlet. Face of Terror, Gisborne, Captured.
May or may not be him.
It's him. I recognize that sweet face anywhere. All right, so we've only got 2 packs left to try to get that Will Scarlet card. I don't think we'll get it.
I don't know if you got this card or not still. I think you did, but maybe you didn't.
Which one does that say?
It's the friend or foe or friend or traitor.
I don't know if we did. It doesn't look familiar to me now.
Because if you didn't get this one, there's two to go still.
But
you definitely didn't get a doubles of it.
One is in pack number 16.
Oh,
it's the Will Scarlet card. Oh, thank goodness. Now I can sleep tonight.
Still.
Yeah, there's one out there.
Did you? Did you pull this or not?
Been in the first pack, but then I'm not sure. I feel like I remember seeing one that said friend or foe, or maybe it said friend or traitor, as yours clearly does. So I think we did get one of it. All right, so we're up to 22, and we finally got that card, and I think we've gotten all the cards. Or maybe I opened up one too many packs. Or no, I opened up 18 packs, so there were 36. I lied to you. They'll just keep being more open packs. I'm going to open 18 packs, rather. Not that I have opened. All right, so now we'll open pack number 17. And we've got another friend or traitor, so now we can say for sure.
Oh, nice. This episode's going to be just like Dolan's Cadillac.
Yes.
You thought it was only
Why is it so long?
10 minutes, and it's 2 hours long with the last half hour just you opening up these cards.
We've got striking back.
Nice.
So that brings us up to 24. Oh, Will Scarlet again after none of them. We got 2. Number 25 is alive. We got an Azim sticker and condemned to hang. All right.
Now you have one you can carry in your wallet with you.
Well, we'll see. What I want to do is I'm going to have you back on the show in not soon, but in a while. And we're going to see if being featured on this show has raised the value of these cards at all, raising their profile a little bit and making people want them, creating such a demand. And then we can sell our cards autographed by us for thousands of dollars on eBay. And
we'll have to have Prince of Thieves as the show, though.
Yes, we will. The movie will be Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves when we come back. That's right. Now our last pack, I'm going to open up the last pack for this time. We can open up the other 18 packs next time as well.
I can't wait.
All right, last pack. Oh, we got another Will Scarlet sticker.
Boom. Those stickers are the best. Put them on my Trapper Keeper. Yeah, thank God this last part has been.
Friend or traitor?
Nice. For sure now.
Love at first sight with a question mark. Mysterious stranger. That's Azim. I didn't recognize that mysterious stranger.
Was that Love at First Sight? Was that Azim and Robin Hood seeing each other?
It should have been. And our last card is Journey to Loxley Castle, which does not feature. It features Azim and Robin. After.
Oh, I thought it was going to feature the sheriff and princess. It's a lovely journey.
27 in 15 or in 18 packs, thereby blowing away all incorrect estimates based on incorrect information I gave you.
Yeah, it's more than one a pack.
There's one card you didn't get.
Oh my God. Wow.
The 9 of Hearts. 18 packs left.
Financial Games is now over.
Why isn't he the Ace of Hearts? He is in my book.
Thank you for joining me, Amit. And the next episode we'll be back with Reno Carson to discuss 1989's Gleaming the Cube.
Oh, I'm jealous.